Hello everyone. In this video today, we're going to be talking about what I want the narrative to be for the next Mafia game. Just saying how the Mafia Old Country ended. It was pretty good. It set up like a big open window for how Mafia 2 was, just to have a story in between. So this is what my narrative that I want it to be about. So recently I've been listening to a podcast about the mafia, just like the real mafia, like what happened in the 1900s to the early 2000s. But just in general, I think they need to take the story of Lucky Luciano. So Lucky Luciano, right? He was the one that made the modern mafia, mostly made it to what it is today. Like for Mafia 2, Mafia Definitive Edition, and Mafia 3, like how it was, and the drugs and other stuff, heroin, trafficking and stuff like that, all that. He mostly created that system so they can make maybe a lot of money. So the narrative that I wanted to be, right, because how Old Country ended, Isabella mostly came to Empire City. Lucky Luciano, came to New York. He was like a regular guy, just stealing, trying to make profit and stuff like that, and the mob mostly recognized him. So if we can really start the story, we can kind of start the story from right here. We can start from it picks up right after Isabella comes through. You can name the person anybody. I say make the character just kind of like him. So he's stealing, the mob takes a notice, and stuff like that. He gets mentored into being the regular mafia things. We had it in all the mafia games except for 3. You feel me? Because that was a revenge story. We had it in Mafia Definitive Edition, we had it in Mafia Old Country, and we had it in Mafia 2. So give him the ropes and stuff like that. But the thing about it is, I want them to kind of mostly make him the bosses of bosses, because we never had a chance to become a Don before. We never had that chance to become a Don, and I feel like this is mostly the best chance to become a Don and see how it the ropes is and stuff like that. That's mostly for near the end of the game, because how Mafia Old Country, it was mostly a narrative driven kind of experience, and it only lasted maybe 13 hours or something like that to finish the game. You can have it like that. You can have the last hour be a Don, instead of him getting killed, or instead of him doing this and that. Have him have a good story throughout how he becomes a Don and the bosses of all bosses. And say he helps Leo's up there, some other people that was in the second game, everybody Frank, I think the Canelo family, I think it was. I don't remember mostly, but yeah, have him become the bosses of bosses. They go through him. But yeah, have I don't know the word, but I'll probably bring back to it if I remember it. But yeah, just have it like that in general, and mostly after we have that story for was it the 1907 until we get to Vito, remake Mafia 2. Then we can have a general story from the Mafia Old Country to that little story right then and there, so we can mostly tie in that little spot right then and there, how they made the mafia, right, in general, before you play as Vito. Have Mafia 2 remake, and let that bosses of bosses, that Lucky Luciano kind of person, come in the Mafia 4 when it comes to when we go to Las Vegas. To mostly have another character, you meet up with him and stuff like that, and he's mostly your mentor right then and there. And I feel that would be a good story to have, so we can actually see oh, this is how it's like to be a Don. I feel we never had a chance. I think this is the best chance right here to actually be a Don. Then after that, when you get to Mafia 4, it can be a part oh, I own this casino, let me do this, let me do that. I think there's a movie, I don't know what the movie is called, I probably have it propped up right here, but amazing freaking movie. And I think that would have been amazing for like a plot for like the for Mafia 4. But this next Mafia, narrative driven kind of Mafia game, I think so, mostly. I'll say literally make it after Mafia the Old Country, have it a Lucky Luciano kind of what like his lifestyle was and stuff like that, and make him the bosses of all bosses. Have the Mass Effect, have the Mafia 2 remake in general, like fix the bugs and all this other stuff, so you can have a continuation. Like you already have the New York City layout, so just continue with it and stuff like that. Improve the graphics and improve everything, the gameplay and everything like that in an Unreal Engine. And all of a sudden go to Mafia 4 to Las Vegas, and that'll be pretty cool. And after that, like after Las Vegas, you can probably go to what's it called, Los Angeles. I feel like that'd be tough. I feel like that'd be tough right there. And probably like if he has an option, after maybe when you go to Las Vegas, you see Lick and Clay. Maybe he's like low down and stuff like that, but like he'll probably like, you know, help somebody else, some shit like that. But I feel like that would be pretty cool. But I say that's just my narrative theory, or mostly narrative way that I want the game to go. So if you agree, disagree, let me know. Tell me what, you know, like narrative driven way that you want to go. Gameplay way, I don't know. You feel me? So because mostly the Mafia games been generic except Mafia 2. I say Mafia 2 has the best gameplay non-repetitive to like a point. But I feel like it's the best gameplay wise out of everything in the series. Best gameplay wise. I say best story has to be for me, Mafia Definitive Edition. Best characters, definitely Mafia 2. I think best lead actor, lead mostly character, has to be Lincoln Clay. Lincoln was just a badass. Then it's Vito. Then Enzo and Tommy like in as third, because Enzo and Tommy is like practically the same. You feel me? So, but that's what I want for next Mafia game. Let me know what's up. Let me know what's happening. Like, let me know your opinions, like what you want, what you don't want, and everything else. And that's it. Talk to you guys later. Peace.